Hello everyone, welcome back to the Andrews and Eastern. We are about 15 seconds away from our next train departure. This is train 4 departing from Whittier. And about 10 minutes after that, we'll have train 3 departing from Andrews. We also have a whole bunch of freight trains still running around the map, or waiting to run around the map. We'll watch the 43 leave, and then we'll get back into figuring out what to do with all those freight trains. It doesn't look particularly full, but I'm sure there will be more people hopping on in Bryson. There we go. Now then, we've got train 34 pulled up. Let's figure out what's going on here. You made a random stop, and okay, that's right. We do have to watch 43 because it will have to get coal. Yeah, I don't know why you're stopped. Just keep going. I think what we'll do actually to make sure that we remember that 43 needs to stop, let's put down a few Z. There we go. Now you have to stop. So let's see, what else do we got? We got 10 up the Conley Creek branch. We've got our big train in Nantahala. We've got smaller trains in Topton and Rodo, and the passenger train trying to get out of Andrews in about 10 minutes, and the switcher in Andrews. I think the first thing we need to do is get the big train up the hill. But we also need to make space for it. Fortunately, this train is not that long, really. You're also somehow not hooked up to your train. So what we're gonna do... We're gonna get this train hooked back to... Oh, is there more cars to get? Oh, there's more cars to get. I guess you need to run back for more cars then. And I guess we'll just try and make the other train work. Or maybe what we do... No, we're going to do this a little bit smarter. These two trains are not both going to fit at the summit. It just won't. Just trust me on this. So what we'll do, we'll cut out an MUU. And we're going to have you... We're going to have you back into the siding for now. And, oh, hey, we got another car we need to pick up anyway, so... Even better. And once the train from Andrews gets here, you can go past and charge the hill. But first, you need to get out of the way. And I think we can actually use the split engines to grab that car. Alright, let's go find 10. You've got the log cars, and you are ready to come down the hill. And once you're down the hill, we'll need you to grab things and make for Bryson in a hurry. Because there are more cars to grab in Bryson. Well, let's see. I guess there's not in Bryson yet. But there are up at Walker. We need you to flip those and get some more logs over. And there's cars in Whittier to pick up. And Ela. $12 can probably get into Topton. I guess while we're waiting, let's go back to 40, which is our Nantahala train. Make sure they get into the siding. And then we'll start working on getting this train split and switched. And then 71 will get its backward shove up the hill. It'd be really nice if we had a turntable or a Y here to turn our helpers, huh? But that's a lot of tonnage, even knowing how heavy the engines are. And 46 is mostly just waiting for things to unload, so we'll give it some more time. Next interchange probably won't be till noon at the earliest, 1 o'clock at the latest. Now the question is, are we going to get this whole thing into the siding before we reach that switch? I don't think so. It'll be easier if we do, but I don't think we will. No. No chance. Hello, Eugene Kleist, Brunswick Train Fan Farm Lover videos. I'm doing good. Just gotta do a little bit of tricky switching here. So now you pull forward. Well, maybe you should have been the one to pull in there. Probably doesn't make that much difference. A bit late anyway. So you stop. Now you... Now everyone else is getting places. Now you go get that car. Now we take this consist and we're going to pull it forward. Just so we can get the car spotted somewhere-ish. Where in the consist doesn't matter a whole lot. It's all going to interchange. But I would like to position it after most of the loads. So I guess what we'll do... Probably split the train there then. Because I think these... they're mostly empty. Go. So now you need to keep that pulled ahead so we can clear that. But then we'll probably first we'll stop and get some of the other trains sorted out. Because our next passenger train is leaving soon. Okay. So we'll pause here. And you come back to Topton. And get thee in the hole. And you collect your log cars. Get thee to Whittier. There. And with that sorted out, now we can go back to this. So what you're going to do is drop this here. So that'll put this in the train. We're not going to mid-train helper this. We'll have you duck back in, shove everything back together, and then just put you on the front. You'll be facing backwards, but you'll be leading. I have figured out that remote MU does not really work. 43 is almost to Bryson, so that will become the priority. Fortunately, 34 has cars to take to Whittier to fill up that coal tower. At which point our panicked coal stops will cease to be an issue. So yeah, you get out of the way. And once you're out of the way, we'll shove you back. And 34 is where it needs to be. We'll get 11 to break up its train pretty soon. Most of our scrap stuff is now gone, which is why we had so much money earlier. And you have to crawl through that turnout, don't you? We're going to skip over to 43 now. I'm just going to run you manually for a bit. Through the trees. And the lag, apparently. Spicy corner. Yeah, we're pretty low on coal. We're not making it up Red Mark with this much coal. Time for the hard stop. The really hard stop. We're doing good on water, so I won't worry about that. And just as a refresher, we depart Bryson in 5 minutes. So we're going to have a very short coal top off. Fortunately, we only need coal and not water. Now our cars are almost completely full. We can get, I think half coal will be enough to get up the hill. But if we can get full coal, I'll be happy. Just gotta watch the clock. At 28, it's back to the train. We have plenty of coal in the tower, though. So that will not be an issue. Just while we're here. Anything ready for upgrades? Service upgrades? No? Doesn't look like it. Okay. What's cracking, Big Smackin'? I didn't know I was a Big Smackin'. We're getting this engine in emergency coal loading before it goes back to its train. And then we're also trying to do some extra switching in Nantahala before we send that train up the hill, but it's got to wait for the train to come down the hill, and you get the idea. There's lots of trains going on. Let's get it up to 12 tons, and then we'll send it back to the train. Good enough. Alright. Fly through those crossovers and then gently into the train. Ah. Well, good to hear you're going on vacation. Hope it's somewhere fun. I haven't touched my Derail Valley save in a couple weeks. I probably should. All the tonnage. Yes, yes. Alright. Manual, road, forward. So you are now set. I think you're gonna... Oh, you're gonna pull forward and... I mean, it doesn't matter. You're already loaded. Well, I saw that 12 was ready. So let's go take a look at 12. But 12's not gonna be able to move for a bit, so... We can get your train hooked up. That's about all we can do. I can figure out where. There we go. There was one. And about here. Okay, so you'll be ready to go in momentarily. So let's head back down to where 40 and 71 were. So, we just pulled a boxcar out of here and stuck it in the middle of our train. Now we've got to get you backed up again. If I can figure out where the car was. There we go. So that we can get the big engine on the point. Which does mean we're about to foul the switch again. It shouldn't be an issue. Oh, and then 55 can get itself headed on to Andrews. Ooh, going to Europe. Nice. Netherlands, England, Germany, and France. Sounds like a good time. Especially if you're going to be there 2 weeks. You ought to have time to see a lot of stuff. Definitely. I mean, I only went to Denmark and a little bit of Sweden and Germany when I was in Europe, and I definitely could have used more than the week and a half I had. So we'll get you on the point. And in the meantime, let's get 55 going to where it needs to go. Which is down here! And now we go back to 71. 55, what are you waiting on? There you go. So this is our big train today. 1,700 tons. And for now, you can now come back to here. Just get out of the way. You got enough water. You'll be fine. So, who else did we have that was ready? 10, I believe. So 10 just dropped off a whole bunch of logs. Now we've got some other cars to pick up. So, first, we'll get this one run around. Actually, I guess 34 is also ready for some sort of action. So what do we have? Bryson team, Standard Oil. Okay, so those all go to the other end of town. No, except for that one. So how about this? First, you take that car and put it over here. And then we'll get our switcher to go drop off the other cars. Oh yeah, and we have our 2 cabooses too. We'll do something about those after the other cars. Do we have anything here? Nope. Well, yes, but not exactly. '71 is holding. And I'm going to do one quick check of something. Yep, okay. Switches are good there, and at Wesser, yes. Always important to make sure you've lined your switches properly. 10 is ready. Guess that's going to be our closest runaround track. And we're going to let you sit for a bit as we go back to here. So we need those cars. And your first stop is going to be the other end side of town. I think for now, just spot you here, and then we can sort all that out. Yeah, and then once you've dropped this off, we'll take you to the coal tower. We will get to our helper up the hill in a bit. We gotta wait for trains to come down the hill first. And look at all the engines we've got lying around. I guess you're still being... Oh, no, you've been fixed. Nice. Well, I guess you can take the next train back. Or possibly we'll have one engine take these over and you can take the log cars over? Something like that. A hill? It is a change in elevation, or I guess elevation of the ground between 500 and 1,000 feet tall. That's a hill. And don't ask me for that number in sane units. I only know the freedom ones. Go back to you. And go to the other side. And watch for the notification that there's a train at Topton. Once we get that, we will need to go to Topton and get the next train down the hill. The other side of it. It is worth mentioning that under that definition of a hill, being higher than 500 feet but less than 1,000, Denmark has no mountains. Their highest point is about 561 feet. And I've been to it. It's not that exciting. Sorry, Denmark. Your 8th highest point is a lot more interesting. One thing I do want to look for over here, how close is anything else being to getting out? You're a ways. You're pretty close. We're not in a huge hurry to get the second train out, so it can wait a bit. Sydney and Louisburg. Berkshire tank? That's... Well, I guess Germany had Santa Fe tanks, so I can't say much. In 1899, they had Berk tanks? Sheesh. if you have any of those photos, could you plop a couple of them in the Midland Discord? I want to see what these look like. Oh, Nova Scotia. Okay. Oh, they were, well, not American, but Canadians. I hope they apologize to the world for that travesty. Alright, so I think what I want to do... We're just going to keep this car on the point. But we want to grab the cars starting with this, so we can get to that. Put these two together. Then grab everything else and start kicking cars around. Wait, was that Topton? Okay, that was Topton. So we're going to take a quick pause from all this. You can head down the hill. And fortunately, we do have an open track for you. It's this one. Because I don't think it's actually going to fit all on the tail track. Alright, now I'll go get that one. I've also been doing a bunch of updates to the history of my actual fictional railroad. Not the Andrews and Eastern, it's an Eastern Oregon line called the John Day Valley Railway. I've been spending a bunch of time updating the history, but I think I've got another project I need to spend some time on as well. So that'll probably get put on the back burner again. Have sent the thing. Thank you for sending the thing. Oh, those are wacky, yeah. With that very British thing next to it. I haven't figured out how to share photos on stream, otherwise I would. I like your drawing. Your drawing looks a lot better than the... I think your drawing looks better than the actual engines. It looks like... It kind of looks like someone took that one Deadwood Central 280 tank, the one that's in Railroads Online. They took that and they gave it a stretch. That's what it makes me think of. Although it's not outside frame. So now we grab these and we can start with the kicking. And first track's going to be that one. Oh, we had a damaged car again. I keep forgetting about that. Bonk. Probably did not kick that hard enough. I think we still have a little more downhill for it to kick on, though. Not a huge deal if these two crash into each other. They're going to the same track. You go. And you actually can now go drop off the other car. We'll come back to the other two. I do want to keep an eye on the other two because, well, gotta make sure they don't overshoot anything. And also make sure that you don't, like, smack into them too hard. But you ought to be in a good spot now. And as long as you don't overshoot... There. £26 of furniture. What does 26 pounds of furniture look like? One stool? They put one stool inside? 10 is where it needs to be. Let's get 10. 10 now needs to go to Ela, because we have to get those cars. Uh, 34. What's 34 up to? Let's get you watered. Missed. Too much power. Finesse here. There we go. And where's our other things? Okay. Well, our big train is just about ready to come up the hill. I guess one more thing we can do. Is we can tell 55 to go for coal and water. Oh, that's far enough. Alright. Let's go watch you, and then we'll go watch the other one. This passenger train should clear the end of the track. Oh wow, we are jammed full. We got space to take people on. Might leave a few behind again. Alright, check that. You're good. So it is time for you to take red marble. I don't think we're going to watch you go all the way, but we'll watch you get most of it. Not sure if these engines actually have the same driver size or not, but they sound perfectly synced. Does it actually say what their driver size is? No. So does anyone know if the Santa Fe and the Mastodon have the same driver size or not? Because if it is, that's hilarious. And as a reminder, we currently have 101,000 pounds of tractive effort. Now we're really biting into the grade. Back a little bit. Okay, now they're not the same driver size. You can tell because the rods are moving in and out of sync with each other. Please make it up the hill. Pretty please make it up the hill. I check. Yeah, you're both pulling. Come on. Come on. No. Okay, we did not make it out. New plan. We're going to double it. We're going to take all those empties in that load. We will leave them behind with the caboose. We'll have both of these engines charge up the hill with the rest, and then we'll have 40 go solo into Andrews, and 71 comes back for the other cars. Feels like we have to double the hill a lot on this railroad, you know? Make sure we know where passenger trains are. Okay, Almond, yes. Okay, 10 is there. Let's get 10 settled. And then we go back to 71. So we're leaving behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars. Let's see how much weight that takes off. I would like to try and get all the pulpwood up in one go. Okay. So we've now shed, well, we only actually shed about 250 tons. But that might be all it takes. Try again. We're also starting on the hill, so we don't have as much of a run-up, but I don't think that'll hurt us too much. Keep in mind, a significant amount of this is engine weight as well. Well, there you go. Now we're actually making it. Well, it looks like it anyway. Knock on wood. Don't fail me now. As a reminder, the lower part of this is about 4.5%, and at some point, it lessens a bit to 3.9. Yeah, so if we make it to this bridge, we'll be fine. It's just going to be slow going to the bridge. For all I know, the second half of the train is going to get stopped by the other passenger train. Let's check our bearings. Bearings look pretty good, though. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So, let's go figure out what everyone else is up to again. What? Why? What? What? Did I not tell you to go there? What's wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I guess it didn't like having to do so many switchback moves. Oh, actually, no, that's not what I wanted. What I want is to break this roughly in half. And then start shoving cars in. And, oh yeah, hey look, there's all the cars that we meant to send back this morning. And then missed. And 11 can now go grab its cars. And return to the yard. 10 is still making its move. And 71 is accelerating up the hill. That is good. So I think what we're going to do now... We'll get you turned around. What's that one song? You spin me right round like a record player? At least they had record players back in those days. And look at our much emptier scrap track. We could afford to go buy more things to drag over. We'll see what comes in interchange first. So you can go... I guess for now, just come... You know, for now, just go up there. But once you're off, we're going to grab that engine and have it go grab the log cars. No, you need a wimpier whistle. No, that's right. I got 2 whistle mods in here again. Oh, well, that's one way to do that. Oh, you're probably cut out, aren't you? That's annoying. We'll just give you that. At least it didn't take damage when it bounced off the turntable. So I need you to go here. Heinz Lumber Company. If you're from Eastern Oregon, you might actually recognize that. If you're not, they were one of the big lumber conglomerates, and they owned a railroad that ran not too far from where I grew up. It's called the Oregon and Northwestern. And it's best known because in the diesel days, its main power was a quartet of Baldwin AS616 diesels, 3 of which survive. For a while, all 4 survived. Scam Likely's calling me again. Oh, 48 has reached. Alright, well, it's time for the swapping of the passenger trains. Woohoo! Okay, so now we've dropped off half of our pulpwood, and okay, it hasn't all vanished yet. Now go get the other half of those cars. And we're also still unloading coal. Come on. So put those on the back, and then you can take the rest. Or take them all to Bryson. Now, I know it looks like our return train from Bryson's going to be pretty darn light, but don't forget, we have all those coal cars at Alarka Junction to pick up as well. I guess we can take a moment and get 55 sorted. I think I already decided that 55 is going to be the new, I guess, secondary road engine. So it'll take the place of 40 on the main train between Bryson and Andrews. And then 40 can be the Nantahala engine. Alright, and we go back to 10. And we're fouling the road, whatever. So this train is just waiting for the coal cars to unload. Then it can grab these and drop over at interchange. And at some point, we do need to switch this. But I'm kind of thinking we're going to wait until at least that car finishes. And we'll hit it on the afternoon interchange. How low are we on pulpwood here, by the way? Yeah, we only got down to 3/4. And I do have plans for what the finale episode is going to look like, and I also have plans for what the next season will look like when I eventually decide to do it. But the next season will probably not hit until the next big update, and this one will hopefully finish before then. And that way we'll be able to deal with the right-of-way. I'm not using 30 at the moment, so we'll take it off the list. I will put our Hyce engine back on. Alright, well you're good, so you can wait. We'll get 10 sorted. And you can head back. You can just go on into Bryson, I think. Let's have you start moving cabooses. This caboose can stay with the Whittier train. This one will go with the Bryson train. And just to check, 71 is still moving. It's almost to the summit. 55 is probably done with water, so we'll give it coal. And then we'll put it out of the way. So let's go grab 71. Because once it's at the summit, we will need to do maneuvers. And I think 71 is not going to be able to make it all the way back down to Nantahala before the passenger train gets there. So we'll have it duck in the Graham County. You know what, we might just have it... No, we won't have it grab the Graham County cars, but we'll have it duck in there. Because 12 will probably run another train to Graham County. A shorter train, but another train nonetheless. Alright, we are now over the hill. And I don't remember where you're... Oh, there's your waypoint. Exactly. Okay, and our login engine has reached its waypoint. We will come back to that. Alright, so now we finally made it, but we do have to go get the rest, but the passenger train is going to stop us from doing that. Solution: go hide up here for a sec. And then once he's out of the way, you can just keep on going. No caboose, unfortunately, but that'll be. There. Good. And 55, you can just kind of go... You can go hide in here for a sec. And I think if the coal car's not empty, it's empty. So grab those, and then we'll grab the other ones. And do you need... Yeah, you're going to need coal and water, so... I'll let you cut away and head to the engine track for now. Because we'll have 46 grab these. And everything else, yeah, it's just kind of moving. Well, no, not quite. Pretty soon we'll have some more action. Make that stop long enough to get this out. But now, while we wait for that, it's time to go to our logger. And it's time to start stacking logs. See what I did there? I hope you like that. Now we are going to re-water and re-coal it before we try and send it off to Whittier. Thing's just not that strong. Or rather, it doesn't have that much range. I mean, 2,000 gallons of water. And 2.5 tons of coal. So we'll take these, we'll shove them in here. Drop off the log cars. Actually, it's probably got enough coal to make it. But we'll need to stop at water. Fortunately, there's a water tank right there. So water should not be a huge issue. Okay, yeah, that's not going to clear that switch. So, shove those over there. And then we'll put those back, and then grab these and go. While we're at it, it's 46. 46 is not going to clear that. That fusey at least. Well, no, maybe it is. I think it is. I guess we'll find out if I hear something saying we're in the dirt. $10.23. Yeah, so the Santa Fe would not have made it down to Nantahala before the passenger train left. Now, if you didn't know, the real-life prototype for this engine is currently located at the Mount Rainier Scenic Railroad. It is not currently operational. It might be in the future, but right now it's just too short range for what they want to do. So I don't blame them for holding off and getting Porter 5 rebuilt first. But the real-life prototype is Hammond Lumber Company 17, and it's an oil burner, not a coal burner. Okay, now you take your massive overtonnage train and come here. And now we'll come back focusing on our cute little tank engine, because isn't it adorable? kind of surprised that the photo mode doesn't take the car destinations off. Alright, now take yourself... Actually, I probably want you on the... No, that's fine. So take yourself down to Bryson. I guess we will just send you to Bryson and rewater. Actually, I think what we can do... I'm going to take 11 off of here because... What we'll do... You can just go straight onto your train. And then we'll have 11, once you're moved, grab these and stab them onto here. And that'll be our outbound train. Yeah! Yeah, and then the outbound train can just grab the caboose straight off. Let's keep an eye on 71. Because we want it to get down the hill as fast as we can to get the other cars. And once the log train gets in and goes for water, we can send 10 back to Whittier. And fortunately, we got all the cars going roughly the same place. Although we really only need one for that coal loader. Wouldn't hurt to have the second one there for now, anyway. Actually, probably do want two at their coal loader because if one empties, it's a long wait to get more. Yeah, you got enough coal and water to make the next trip. Alright, so now it's 46's turn again. Back to the other end of the railroad. Evidently we figured out how to send people by telegraph the way I keep teleporting around. And we'll just stab that on there. Okay, I'm not sure if it's going to say it doesn't like that there's brake if I won't leave this car just because. There it goes. Where's our other train? Where's 40 at? 40 is over there somewhere. So we'll have 2 trains into the yard at about the same time. Let's see if they all fit on that track. They might have to split. Actually, yeah, I think they will have to split, so we'll put that there. Oh, and it's 10:30, which means it's time to schedule another interchange. 1 o'clock, next interchange. Don't know how many cars we'll get, but it ought to be a goodly number. And look at all those cars. 20 cars, well, 18 cars. No, no, that's not what I wanted. Release. And they're all from here. Except for one from there. But yeah, 17 cars from one industry. And that's not even a full day's production. And here comes the other train. And I think 71 is actually probably safe to keep going. Yeah, 71 can go get the other half of its train. And the log train is still making its way down the hill. I probably could have sent 10 out a little sooner. That's okay. So I'll have you just grab the caboose and stab everything onto it. And to make sure you two don't end up together, have you pull ahead. So what's going to happen is that the 105 is going to be the dedicated sawmill switcher. It'll handle the switching at the sawmill, and it'll handle trains going up the Connolly branch. And then 10 will be responsible for trains going to and from Whittier to Bryson, and also the Walker branch. And there we go. All those cars. Woohoo! Well, you're gonna have to wait to go do anything else until the next train, so... Yeah, we needed the dedicated track for that. Oh, that's right. You have pulpit cars. Dang. Well, there are ways to sort that. And in this case, what that way is to stop you now. And we'll just have you pluck the pulpwood cars out and take them away. But you can go get coal and water. Or at least you will be able to in a moment. You can get coal and water, though. Mostly water. You need water. So take these cars off and put them here, and then grab the pulpit cars. That sounds pretty simple, right? And okay, looks like our log train is ready. So let's have 10 take off. And you're going to need some precise spotting too. But I think just water is... Well, we'll give you coal too. And you can go back to your hidey hole. Oh, 71 is ready, so as you water up, we'll get 71 up the hill. That just looks silly. Take the rest of it and come up here. 40, you go down the Y track now. And 12, and continue up. And meanwhile, 46. And then you can grab the rest of the pulp and get out. And 443, switch against. Dang it. Pulpwood train! Now, one thing to note, the log train is going to be leaving soon. I am going to make it wait until after the passenger train is through Bryson, because I do not want it running out of water ahead of that. Now you need to come over, do drop cars there, and do the runaround. And you have water, so get on the other end of your log train, and you can keep going. Don't think anything's gonna finish unloading before we send this train out, but that'll be a next session thing anyway. But yeah, we could buy some more stuff to scrap, I guess. Anything worth scrapping? No. 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 Remember, we want this number to be lower than that number. Yeah, that one would be. That one would really be it. So maybe the Pacific. I know it's a cute one. Cabooses are never worth it. Okay, that one I think would be worthwhile. But we can also wait till the interchange and see what comes. Make sure we're not overloading our poor train. Could get another caboose though. Maybe we'll get a caboose. Just to have another caboose. Cabooses are fun. I know no one uses them in Railroader because they serve no practical purpose, but they are kind of fun. So now everyone's just kind of waiting. There we go. Alright, so again, waiting for the other passenger train, but then we'll take you on up. And meanwhile, there's 71 fighting its way up the hill. Much faster, though. It's not track speed. Well, that makes sense. The engine seems to be most of the weight of the train. So let's go back to 12. And you can come over here because you'll be getting ready to take another train out this afternoon. Get you set up. Alright, and we'll drop these cars and then just run around. And we have to remember, the afternoon train takes these away. They gotta go. They're not all going to the same place, but they gotta go. Go around. Somehow you overshot and you're still fine. Whatever. Has not reached a Bryson yet, but it's probably pretty close. Oops. 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 Okay then. Well, it's a good thing we now have spare engines. You are good enough to continue your task. You need to send your tender back. You can need to get out of the way for a second. And you, having successfully crested the hill, but running low on water, you can come down here. We'll run you around your train, and then you can shove it in and pull the caboose and pick it up there, I guess. Yeah, that's an issue. Well, we're keeping that in. Oh, and did I see? Okay, Bryson got money. Well, let's see. So you're going to be the next eastbounder. 12's tender ought to be patched up pretty quick. But if we need to, 40 can handle the next pulpwood train, and 12 will just be the switcher. This 46 is going to be down for the count for a while. So those cars all need to get dropped off. And these cars are not from Graham County, so we'll put them all on the other track. I don't remember where all these are from. I would think these ones are from Walker, these are from Hemingway, and these ones are from Connolly. The Connolly ones I know for sure. Because the Connollys are the only heavy ones. Passenger train left yet? The passenger train is out of town. So it is time for you... Well, maybe we'll wait for it to go a little bit. Here, you can head to the edge of the town. And then I'll just tell you to go track speed once you're on the main. And try not to run out of water, huh? I'm thinking what I might do is use the sandbox mode to upgrade the industries so that we can serve things at a higher level the next session. Because I started them at 1, but that just means it's going to take at least 5 days to get everything up to tier 3, and I don't want to play that many sessions, especially since it takes 2 or 3 or 4 sessions to go through an in-game day. Keep an eye on that water. It's going to drop pretty quick. I don't know if it drops faster than other engines, but with the capacity being so low, it feels like it. Cool the sawmill with ye. And hey look, we got log cars already ready to go back. Oh, that'll be a job for the next engine. Alright, those cars are dropped off. That cat's going to be the next one to unload if the game holds to its usual logic. I know. Game? Logic? Gasps. Actually, no, I want you on that track. Let's put the broken ones together. So then we'll put the hoppers here, and that'll pretty much tie up this end of the railroad. We'll just get the caboose and get out of the way for a bit. Yep. Now we better test it, and this engine does need coal. And, okay, one of the passenger trains has reached its destination. The other one will be not too much farther behind, about another 10 minutes. And then, once it's empty, 43 will need to get out of the way of 71. Yep, schedule complete, but still unloading. So nice to actually have coal cars now. I'm assuming, yeah, it's going to unload this one first. Kind of wish it would unload the other one first. And now we've just run you both into the shop. Hang on. 43. Did that say departing? Fortunately, no, you're not. Let's get you out of the way. And yeah, 71's water is low, but it's also almost here. So it's not really a huge deal. Oh, but that is. I forgot about you. Right, you need to come over here. You need to get out of the way of the broken thing. Unfortunately, I don't think this whole train... You could see if the whole train fits back here. Wouldn't that be fun? To be honest, even if just the cars fit back there, we can still turn. Well, no, we can't. Never mind. It's an all or nothing proposition. And just so we can tell when it's done. Yeesh. Not great. Those engines will pretty much not be ready the rest of today. Block train's actually keeping up pretty well. So how many cars can we fit on here? 4-car train would fit. It would be too short for actual duty, but it would fit in here with the engine. Okay. Okay, never mind. And here comes 71. We can use the Y to turn 71 around. Oh wait, 71's already facing the right way. It doesn't really matter, it can face either way. So we could have put it on one of the Y tracks. Nah, again, doesn't really matter that much. Oh, this is gonna be a puzzle, isn't it? Fortunately, I think, yeah, so that'll work automatically. Then we'll pull you forward to clear that track. And our other passenger train is at Whittier Depot. Which means we're going to have to deal with it pretty quick. But honestly, I think once we get 71 around, we will call stream. Oh, and of course, we also have to water up both of these engines, but that is a minor issue. How much did we get from passenger fare at Andrews? Almost $2,000. Ideally, we got $300. There we go. And we will throw that back. Oh no, actually no, we won't. How much was that? $600? Yeah, decent. Well, for now, you can come up the Y. So we can start getting U-turned. And we're also going to switch you to the next train. No, we're not. You are no longer a train. Go. I did it again. I made that mistake again. Out of interest, how much water do you have? Still got more than half of it. You're fine. And you're gonna do weird stuff, aren't you? What is it with this railroad and trains doing weird stuff? Well, now I gotta wait for that weird stuff to happen, so... I think what we'll probably do is we'll start getting this train serviced. And then I will let future me deal with what's the mess in Whittier. That said, since you are no longer at Whittier Station, it is safe to set you up as the next train. Just come up here for now, I guess. Well, yeah, that should be fine. 48 needs to wait because the log train's about to mess it up. We'll drop the caboose here, I guess, so that 55 can get out when it's time, and 40 can get out when it's time. Alright. You're ready. Go get water. Water be upon you. And with that, I think we are ready to call it a stream. We'll pick it up probably same time next week. So, until that time, folks, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great night. Take care.